Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in, coming back and watching. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, staying safe and healthy out there. And if you're new here, I'm Jim. It's great to meet you. I make tutorial videos here every week on YouTube, showing you how I take an image kind of from what I took with the camera, what the camera saw, how about that, to what I envisioned in my mind, right? So I'm always looking to take software products and use them as much as I can to sort of create the image that I want. So it's definitely about experimentation, trying to find ways to do things, getting creative, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm doing. In today's video, I'm in Luminar 4. The newest version is 4.3. You can get it at the link below if you haven't yet. It's a free update. If you already have Luminar 4, you probably know this if you're a Luminar user. But anyway, I've got a street scene that I shot in Glasgow, Scotland. I love Glasgow. I love Scotland. I want to go back to Scotland. It's just a great, great country. One of my favorite places. Anyway, it's a little street called Ashton Lane on the west end of Glasgow. Let me show it to you. Here we go. It's a blue hour evening shot, and I just like these kind of street scenes, but it didn't really have the right textures, the right color, the right light distribution. It's not really what I imagined. It was too evenly lit. I don't really like some of the colors. I wanted to bring up some details, so I used some looks, I used some layers, I used some masking like gradient mask, luminosity mask, radial mask. I just kind of throw the kitchen sink at it. And that's what I end up with. So it's a bit different. There's the before and the after. And if you do the sliding before and after, I mean, it's not, oops, let me grab that. It's not a wholesale, like, oh my God, that's completely different. It doesn't look like the same place kind of change, but it's more in line with kind of how I envisioned it, more along the lines of the colors that I wanted, and the lights, I think, better distributed, I should say. It's more distributed to my liking. That's what I'm going for. And, you know, when you're editing, I think you ought to be going for what you like. And that's what I do. I want to edit and make something that I like. And it's my first rule. If I like it, then guess what? It's a good photo, right? So hope you're making what you like. Let me hit reset on all of these. I did crop it 16 by 9. I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to remove all the looks and layers and all this love that I gave it. And then we're going to get going. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, here I am on the base layer. I did the crop, I did a tiny bit of lens distortion fix, and now I'm gonna jump into my edit. I'm starting the light tool. I'm doing smart contrast of 11, so just a nudge, 10, 11, whatever. Shadows, I'm bumping that up by about 15 or so. And then I'm doing accent AI accent, I always say them backwards. It used to be called accent AI, and then everything is now AI. If it's an AI tool, it's AI whatever, so now it's AI accent. Anyway, so same thing, I just reversed the terms. So all I did in this base layer is really not a lot. I took it from that to that. You can see the lens distortion fixes and also a slight bump in the light. It's really not much. I'm gonna jump on to my first adjustment layer, and I'm gonna add new adjustment layer, and I'm gonna pop over here to looks, and I'm gonna get a look in my London Calling pack called Night on the Streets. And you're gonna say, oh my God, Jim, that's a lot of color. And it is, but it won't be for long because I'm gonna add that with a luminosity mask. If you haven't seen my videos about luminosity masking, I recommend you go check them out. But basically, it's gonna take this look or preset and apply it in a much more subtle manner because it applies, there you go, it applies, luminosity masks apply based on light values. So the brighter parts of the image get more of the effect and the darker parts of the image get less of the effect. A luminosity mask looks like this. You can see there's more red, which indicates the mask, in the brighter parts. The lights, these little twinklies, some of the stuff that's shining around there, and the darker parts get less of it. So it basically takes that effect and reduces it pretty significantly, which is what I wanted to do. So if I turn that off, you can see before the look was added and after, gave it a nice little pop. Now I'm going to add another adjustment layer, and this time I'm going to get another look. And this look is called the T-Shop. There is the T-Shop. Let me hit looks, and it's applying now onto the photo, but I don't want it on the whole photo. So once again, I'm going to use a gradient mask, and I'm just going to drag it like this. So once again, in Luminar 4.3, as you probably know by now, the masks, as you apply them, show up. So in the red area below that line is where this preset is applying. So I'm selectively applying a preset by masking it in. However, I'm going to go ahead and say done, and then I'm going to go over and get a brush, click on brush, and I'm going to say erase. I'm going to highlight the mask, and I'm going to erase it from this wall. I don't really want that applying to this wall. I really just wanted it kind of in that walkway area. So I think we did a good job. I just wanted that preset kind of in that inverted V shape there. And I used a gradient mask to get most of it, and then an eraser, so you can use those masks in combination. You can apply a radial, a gradient, or a luminosity mask, and then after applying them, go back, get the brush, and erase them if you need to, as I just did. Okay, now it's time for another layer. So as I told you, I'm stacking lots of layers and lots of masks. One more time, another adjustment layer. Okay, so I've got my new adjustment layer. This time I'm going to use a radial mask. So just click on Edit Mask, grab the radial, and then as it says, click and drag to draw circles. So what I'm doing is I'm basically going to create a radial mask that's going to be focused kind of on this area. Let's see here. Actually, I need to make this a little bit more oval shaped. There we go. And a little bit more tilted and a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit more tilted. Something about like that. All I'm really doing is focusing in on the center of the frame. However, as you'll notice as I'm moving the mask, you can see that the red is outside these circles. This is not a tutorial on radial masks. I do have videos about that if you want to check them out. But I need to invert it. So you just click on invert, and now you'll see that the pink area is inside the circle, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm really just trying to, I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I'm really just trying to focus on this kind of central area here, and I just got to get, get this mask just right here. Let's see, I'm going to tilt it a little bit more like that, and maybe make it a little bit larger, and then once again tilt it I think more like that. What I'm really trying to do is just create that central area of focus. So I've got the mask in place. You can see over here where it's black and white. Black conceals, white reveals. So white is where these edits are going to apply or be revealed. So now I can go in and do my edits. And so I start in the light tool and temperature. I come down about 18. So just kind of cooling off that center section, adding a little bit of contrast of about a 20 there. Now I'm going to go down to AI Enhance, and I'm going to say AI Accent, and here I do about 30 something, so let's call it 37 or so. As you can see, that's brightening that area, which is really my intent. It's a night scene. I'm trying to control the light, and I want to brighten that area so that it is the focal area of the photo, kind of down the street, kind of there to the left side a little bit. I'm going to add AI Structure to give it a little bit of crunch, so like a 29, 30, that's too far. Something about like that. I think that'll be fun. And then color, I'm going to go into saturation and actually take that down a little bit. Believe it or not, it's a little bit saturated, and I don't want to overdo it. There's plenty of color here, so I don't want to just kind of just go crazy basically with the color. So I've now taken this layer and focusing on this area here. You can kind of see that I've gone from that, which is, a bit duller, a little bit darker, not quite as crunchy, to that, which is, taking the enhancements that I've used and applied them within that radial mask. Now I want to do the opposite on the next layer. So I'm actually going to copy and paste this mask. So I'm going to say mask, copy, and then I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to come over here in this new adjustment layer, and I'm going to say mask and paste. So it creates the exact mask, but I don't want the exact one, I want the opposite. So I have to go back in here and say mask, invert after I've pasted it. And now you'll see this black and white will flip up here. There you go. White reveals and black conceals. So now all these edits will be revealed in the white area, which is all the external stuff. If I go in and click, not click radial mask, sorry. If I go and click on brush to show you the mask, you'll see the mask is now covered outside that circle. So the previous layer was basically focused inside that area, and this the focal point, if you will, of this layer is going to be all that pink area, so outside that core circle. So now let me get over here and let's do some edits. Okay, first things first, I want to take the temperature down, and here I'm going a fairly more significant amount, so like a negative 38, 39, just kind of cooling that off. There's a lot of orange. That light is really giving off a lot of warmth, and I just kind of want to pull that back a little bit. I'm also going to pull the exposure down because it's kind of basically what I'm doing here is making a vignette. And that's because I created a radial mask, which by definition is kind of a circle or oval shape. And now I'm darkening that area outside. So it's basically condensing the scene, focusing the light on the area that I brightened with the previous layer. And now I'm darkening the outside. So it's basically creating a bit of a natural vignette. AI Enhance, AI Structure. Here, I'm going to go like a -40. And so that is basically softening up some of that detail. So again, I'm using more detail in the center to kind of draw your eye, detail and light. And then here on the outer, I'm using less detail and darker. So it's kind of, I'm naturally kind of forcing your eye, and you're probably going to look that way anyway. Like I'm drawn kind of down the street, and I just kind of want to look at that left side and just kind of go that way with my eye. It kind of also mirrors the little twinkly, sparkly Christmas light things that are up above. So my eye kind of goes like that anyway, but I'm sort of helping direct it even more. So that's really what I'm doing here. And then in color, I'm going to take saturation down by about 25. I know, it's not my thing, but I'm trying real hard, people. I do love my color if you're new here, so I'm usually dragging saturation to the right. But in this case, I'm pulling the saturation and the vibrance down. Again, another thing that I'm doing to sort of direct the viewer. If it's darker and softer and less vibrant, you're less likely to look at it, I think. Therefore, you're not going to be as much like, oh, what's over there in that far corner, or what's going on this brick wall? You're going to be more like, hey, I'm drawn down the center of this photo. I'm kind of following that line. So again, visual cues, I think, will lead our eyes, and I'm just trying to enhance that. So that's it for this layer. So let me go over here and turn this off. And there you go. Before I've made the edits to this layer and after, you can see it's a fairly substantial difference. It's darker, it's less colorful, and it's softer in terms of sharpness, right? So I think naturally it just kind of leads you down there. And also, you expect to see less detail in the shadowed areas. So because I created more shadow there with the exposure reduction and pull down the color and the softness, I think it all just kind of goes together visually, at least to me. So that's pretty much what I've got for that layer. I've got one more layer, so here I'm going to add one more adjustment layer. Okay, on this final adjustment layer, I'm going to click over here on the light tool, or I should say on the Essentials tab, and go to light. I'm going to take the temperature down, -25. So keep in mind, these edits I'm not masking, so they're applying across the entire photo. Next, I'm going to take shadows down by about 15 or so. And this is, again, just creating a little bit more mood, a little bit more shadow. It's darkening it's basically darkening the darker areas a little bit more, which again is, to me, accentuating the light in the center of the photo. And then I'm going to go over here to color, and I'm going to go into advanced settings. And on the orange, I'm going to take the saturation down about 20 or so. There's a little too much orange kind of going on here, and I don't want to overdo it. And then for blue, I'm going to go over to the blue color, and I'm going to go saturation plus. That's the normal direction for me with saturation. I'm adding a little bit more blue, but I'm bringing the luminance down, like a -35 or something. And so that's basically darkening the sky, making it a bit more blue, but darker. So let me turn off just color. There you go. There's the before and the after. That's really my edit. So let me show you what this final layer, these are always, I do this a lot. I call this a touch-up layer. So I'm basically just doing some minor touch-up to kind of refine the photo and get it where I want it. So there it is before my touch-up layer. And there it is after. A little bit darker in the sky, a little bit more blue. And then I pulled down some of that orange. And that's my whole photo and my whole workflow. So there's the base photo, unedited, and there it is, current state. And here we go. I'll just walk through this, or slide this. And you can kind of see, I mean, pretty substantial color difference, especially like in the cobblestones. I created more of that pinky orange kind of color there. A lot of that was that preset that I used. I brought up the textures in the center area, brought up the light in that center area where I wanted it, and then created a reduction in light in the other areas to really help focus the viewer's attention, and also soften the detail and reduce color saturation in the outside of the frame. So that was really a full workflow. So we're talking luminosity mask, a couple of radial masks, a regular one, an inverted one, a gradient mask with an erased piece of it, a couple of different looks, multiple layers. The point is, just experiment, my friends. Have fun with it. Figure out what you want to do, and then find a way to do it, because Luminar has so much power and flexibility. It's pretty highly likely you can find a way to do what you're doing. There may be some things you can't quite get to yet, but Luminar continues to advance. And 4.3 is a great example. I think it's continuing to improve. One more time, there's my before and there's my current state. That is my workflow, my friends. Layers, looks, masking, fun. I hope you appreciate or got something out of this. I appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with me and spending some time here. And then I'll see you again really soon, my friends. Take care of yourselves out there. Go take some photos, edit them as you see fit, and have fun with it. Take care. I'll see you soon, and adios.